Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
Unpopular K-pop opinions, because if Karma wrote reviews, humanity would be one-star rant. Huh?
This one was not as good title as
I
last
do
time.
not understand.
Yeah.
Karma capitalized makes me think of Taylor Swift's Karma.
Oh really? Oh.
But let's see.
1. JYP's response to KG's allegations was a train wreck of corporate arrogance and tone deafness that deserves to be called out for the clownery it is. Seriously, it wasn't a statement. It was a masterclass in victim blaming 101. A minor comes...
I mean, what exactly did you expect them to respond with? Oh yeah, we guilty, take us to prison. Of course not. They said we're new not. Like, that's a standard template corporate response. When it came out, I was complete. That's exactly what I expected them to say. Like, didn't shock me one bit. Like what exactly do you want them to say? Like, admit that, oh yeah, we did this. Not, they ain't gonna admit nothing. It's deny, deny, deny. What was the thing on the the casings? Deny, depose, and what?
I don't know how
Well, yeah, whatever. It was like basically deny, always deny, deny, deny.
forward with evidence-backed
Yeah,
claims
delay, deny. Yeah, exactly.
mistreatment, and their first instinct is to gaslight her into oblivion. The whole "she caused harm to the other members" line is so painfully transparent. So we're just gonna villainize the victim now? Classic move. But let's talk about the receipts. Because KG didn't just stroll into this fight empty-handed. She's got medical records, photographic evidence, and receipts that probably make JYP's legal team sweat every time they glance at their inbox. And what do they do? Label her allegations as exaggerated or false. Oh please. Y'all really think people can't verify medical records or communication logs? Unless JYP has the world's most airtight proof that KG somehow staged all of this, they're digging themselves into a deeper hole by the minute. Plus,
Not really. They're not digging nothing. They just deny the accusations. I don't see how the hole is getting deeper. How? They're still gonna have to pay her. So, well, pay. There's gonna be some sort of settlement, right? They're gonna settle, so it's gonna. That's not gonna affect nothing. That the fact that they denied initial accusations, how would that make it deeper worse? Now, if KG wanted to be petty and like transform it a class action, if she convinced other girls, then maybe. I don't think that's her goal. Initially, to me, it just seems like KG wants to be free of the debt. That's it.
labor laws don't bend over backwards for your contracts, JYP, especially when minors are involved. You can't just throw a bunch of clauses in a document and pretend it's a shield from the law.
Like her bringing up about someone else's abuse, does it require her to have that person also to testify because she's using that person's info in her case?
So
Because then I would think if there's going to be a settlement, there's going to be also a non-disclosure. So what, are you going to take that evidence and not be withheld that from the actual victim?
yeah, they're not going to court. Like, they're not gonna have a trial. So if they did go to trial, yeah, the other person would have to get deposed. So if the other person didn't want to say nothing, that claim would have to get dropped. I would think so. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but that's kind of common sense to me based on TV shows that we watch about crime and whatnot. But yeah, so I don't think they're going to court. I think it's going to be settled. They're going to pay her and whatever, like they're going to relieve her of her debt and going to pay her, because if they do go to court, then you're going to have to deal with all the laws they broke in California, and California don't fuck around like that with children labor. So if it is in their best interest to just pay her off and that's it.
So I wonder if she has the picture of the person, the group mate.
What do you mean that picture of her?
Because when she brings that up, she has to have supporting evidence of the abuse of the group mate who attempted to...
Well, I mean, the group mate coming in as in the position and saying, yes, I did do that because I was overwhelmed, to me it would be sufficient. Because there will be records of her going to a hospital, dealing with the OD of NyQuil. That will be records. Of course, she has to be physically, like, actually say that she did that.
She's not a part of the suit too.
Right. It's not a class action. It's just one for that. As I said, to me, KG just want to get rid of the debt. That's what I see. I don't think she wants to change the K-pop industry, because if she was, she would be bringing a class action with all Riize girls, other girls that still want to be in the group. So that's...
They do?
Well, yeah, they didn't come out. So I would think so.
If even half of KG's claims hold up in court, they're about to find out real quick that the California law doesn't give a what. 2. Why did everyone just stop?
Right, the thing is, it's not California State suing JYP though. Now, if California State sees this lawsuit and the Attorney General decides to file their own case against JYP for children endangerment or whatever that's a whole different animal. This case is just between two parties. The California State is not yet involved in there, so it doesn't matter whatever allegations are until it goes to court and some Attorney General has to sue the JYP for this to be like to actually matter. Because right now it looks bad and it is bad, but I just think it's just going to be settled, and the NDA is going to be signed and that's it. So I think that's just what's going to happen.
Stop talking about MADEIN's Gaeun. So we're all just going to conveniently pretend she didn't exist? Typical. Gaeun was literally thrown under the bus by her predator CEO, and instead of rallying around her, everyone decided it was nap time. It's blatant disregard because MADEIN wasn't some big name group, apparently. Your career size dictates whether or not your abuse matters. Gross. Poor girl was kicked out of her own group for speaking up about her abusive CEO, and the worst part? The group is still operating under that same twisted leadership. Let that sink in for a second. The CEO, who should have been dragged through every legal and moral court imaginable, is still cashing checks, while Gaeun is left out in the cold. But no, let's focus on some stupid drama about Hanny's visa issues, because that's the...
I mean, what exactly do you want people to do? This is a small group. No, the group doesn't have a big fan base to kind of occupy Twitter, to bring these issues up. We just forgot. Like, news cycle is there's so much stuff going on. People forget about. I mean, it's not. I'm not saying it's right what happened to her, but she kind of has to bring a lawsuit herself. If she wants, then people are gonna be forced to talk about because there's legal proceedings. If she's not taking any legal actions, why are we gonna sit here and talk about it? That's kind of why we're not talking about NCT Teal right now either, because there isn't like any news to it, right? There's something.
I guess people don't want it to just let it slide like that because it happened.
Somebody has to file a lawsuit. Otherwise, what can we do? What can people do? Sit there, talk about it on Twitter, okay? But I mean, what can we say? That's new? We don't have anything new. Like Gaeun or somebody, I don't know, has to come file a lawsuit or something.
Real priority. Give me a break. And don't even try the no updates excuse. You don't need breaking news to keep screaming about injustice. The problem didn't disappear just because people stopped tweeting about it. Staying quiet? That's complicity. You're letting that CEO sit there, smug and untouched, while the remaining members of MADEIN are stuck in the same toxic swamp. Do you honestly think they're safe? They're probably just too scared to speak out after seeing what happened to Gaeun. This isn't just about Gaeun anymore. It's about the whole system that keeps enabling these predators. If we don't keep talking about it, nothing changes. The industry will keep churning out victims and we'll keep wringing our hands and wondering why. We need to boycott the group until at least that CEO is out of the company. 3. Riize is the weakest SM group vocally. I mean,
it is valid what you said. You need to boycott the group. I mean, if that's the action to do to get it, then boycott the group. Yeah, stop. But by boycotting the group is actually not talking about it either. Because if you talk about it, you're not really boycotting the group. The group is relevant. Boycotting the group is making the group irrelevant by ignoring them.
I think they just wanted to reiterate the point that we're boycotting the group still, guys.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're boycotting them, just stop watching them, stop supporting.
Riize's discography. But I can't deny that the group feels like an experiment where SM decided to toss their signature strong vocals out the window in favor of a flashy performance-driven concept. And while Riize deliver in that department, what about vocals? When you're coming from a legacy of vocal powerhouses like EXO and NCT, the drop in quality is jarring. The main vocalist Sohee is good, but for SM, he's painfully average. SM has a history of main vocals that can shatter glass and carry albums, but Sohee barely carries himself. And with Sunghan out of the picture, aka their second best vocalist, so he's left holding the bag. And let's be real, he's struggling. You can hear the strain every time he tries to push those vocals beyond his comfort zone. Then there's the rest of the lineup. Wonbin has got potential, but the rest of the members are basically just there, adding no real vocal weight to offset Sohee's limitations. It's like they threw a bunch of good performers together and hoped no one would notice that 5 of them are sub-vocalists. What's even worse is the Toldis is already taking on Sohee's voice. If this is how strange he sounds now, imagine what a couple of comebacks will do. SM's track record with vocal health isn't exactly stellar, and it feels like they're setting him up for burnout. Redistribute the parts, or get these boys some real vocal training, because this isn't sustainable. 4. The survival show group Girls on Fire is no longer debuting. One of the members officially confirmed this. If you're not familiar, this is a JTBC survival show that aired 6 months ago, promising a 5-member vocal group, 200 million won, an album, concerts, and a global showcases. But now, 6 months later, it's turned into a complete disaster. The company didn't just fumble the bag. They threw it off a cliff and acted like it never existed. 6 months of radio silence from JTBC after the show's finale was bad enough. But having the members, the very people who were supposed to debut, spill the tea, that's a new level of unprofessional. One member even went live on TikTok recently, basically saying we're as clueless as you are. Huge red flag. And now with
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they're not debuting, I don't really have a problem with that. If it didn't turn out, they're not turning profit, it's just business, I get it. But they should have made a statement themselves, though. Like, they should have come out, we're not, after, further review, blah, 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 we decided that we are not going to proceed with this group. That's it, simple as that. Nobody would, people would ask questions, whatever, it would go away in a week. The fact that you're just kind of sitting there quiet, make people wonder what's going on, it kind of drags on the issue. So I do agree with her in the sense that the statement should have been made by them.
Another member officially confirming the debut is cancelled. It's crystal clear. JTBC never had their act together. How do you promise all this grand stuff, money, music, tours, and then ghost everyone like a bad Tinder match? To make it worse, there's no official statement, no apology, nothing.
Having said that, money should still get paid to the girls, though. If money was promised, they should get paid the money. Just not debut as a group, but whatever the money was promised for winning, they should still get paid that.
They left the members to deal with the fallout, which is just cowardly and pathetic. And as if this mess wasn't bad enough, JTBC is already airing another boy group survival show. The audacity? They couldn't even finish what they started with Girls on Fire, and now they're out here pretending nothing happened? It's like spitting in the faces of the contestants and fans who wasted their time believing in this sham. Honestly, the writing was on the wall from the beginning. The lack of updates, the awkward silence, and now the launch of a new show. It all screams that Girls on Fire was doomed from day one. And let's not forget the supposed 200 million won prize. Did the members even see a single dollar of that? Highly doubtful. If JTBC couldn't handle the basics of debuting the group, you really think they handed over the cash? I doubt it. This whole fiasco is a
I wonder what makes them off the hook of not giving them the cash.
Yeah, I think the cash is important.
Yeah, because I'm sure the contract is to be a part of the show that there's a cash prize.
Yeah, I think the cash prize is definitely important. Debuting part, whatever. I don't, a lot of groups don't debut or end up failing. Who cares? The money, though, they should still get paid. I do think that's an important part of the prize. I think money have to pay out. If it's not worth for them to debut, you can't really force the label. Or what's the point? They're going to debut and then shelve them immediately after debut? Like, at least let them off the hook, let them go to another survival show or whatever. So I'd rather they go that route, but the money they should still get paid.
Airing reminder of how survival shows exploit trainees for clout, only to toss them aside the second the cameras stop rolling. What makes this even more infuriating is the wasted potential. This was supposed to be a vocal-centric group with adults, including a 30-year-old member, something rare and refreshing in K-pop. Their debut could have shattered stereotypes about older idols and shown that pure vocal talent still has a place in the industry. But no, JTBC couldn't be bothered. Some people claim the company bailed because vocal groups don't usually succeed in today's market. But if that's the case, why make the show in the first place? Why waste months of everyone's time just to ditch?
Well, they made the show to see if it worked, and it didn't work. That's why they made the show, to see how would the ratings be, how many people watch. Not enough, apparently. So I get why they made the show. I just don't like the way how they went about after the show. Because, as I said, they should have made a statement, and they should pay the girls the money that, they supposedly want.
The project. This disaster only exposes how flimsy and insincere these survival shows are. They hype everything up, but offer zero real support when it matters. Girls on Fire could have been a game changer, but instead, it's just another cautionary tale of how not to handle a debut. 5. Petus is an absolute joke. Fromis 9 released their disbandment song from, and HYBE barely lifted a finger. No MV, no concept photos, not even a low-effort lyric video, just an audio track slapped together at the last minute. This could be the last time the members are together. And while a reunion like G-Friend or GOT7 might happen, history doesn't offer much hope. It's disgraceful that this is how they're going out. Especially after scoring one of the biggest domestic hits of the year, HYBE couldn't even be bothered to throw together a cheap montage of their journey. I've seen no-name groups do better than this. At least the song is good. It nails the bittersweet vibe. blending 80s synth-pop nostalgia with a fresh modern twist. The lyrics carry a lovely sadness, but the upbeat production keeps it light and uplifting. The vocals are clean and straightforward, delivering just the right amount of range to keep you hooked without overdoing it. 6. IVE's choreography is fine. I'm sick of people complaining about their low energy and soft moves. Not every group needs to come out here doing backflips, head spins, and giving in mix on steroids energy. That's not IVE's lane, never has been, never will be. Their concept is built on elegance, minimalism, and most importantly live vocals. You want ITZY level cardio? Go stan ITZY. IVE's choreo isn't designed for them to pass out mid-performance, trying to hit every beat like their life depends on it. It's about creating a vibe.
I don't mind that either. I think if you have a good choreography, you don't have to. It doesn't have to be so complicated to wow the audience. Just enough, just a little bit, just enough to keep us engaged.
Smooth, graceful, and cohesive with their music. And let's address the elephant in the room. Y'all equating good with intense is not only wrong, but downright embarrassing. A choreography doesn't need to look like a Jabberwocky's audition to be impressive. Simple can be effective. Subtle can be mesmerizing. Do you know how hard it is to nail precision in something simple? IVE delivers with sharp execution, not frantic energy. 7. Why buy first row tickets if you're gonna be glued to your phone? I mean, who told these zombies that buying a concert ticket, especially a front row ticket, was an excuse to park their soulless bodies like they're stuck in the waiting room at a dentist's office? The way they sit there, eyes glued to their phones or with expressions so blank you'd think they're auditioning for a wax museum exhibit is downright offensive. Why even bother showing up?
What are we talking about here? Like, I wish you showed like video of what we're talking about.
I mean, we see like sometimes the audience and what they look like. They're holding up their phones, no expression, no nothing, and we're looking at them and like I would think they would be more excited. I think we brought that up quite a few times before in live performances.
Just Venmo the artist your money and stay home if clapping your hands or nodding your head is too much for you. And don't even try to justify it with, I'm just here for my bias. No babes. You're here to kill the vibe for everyone. Imagine spending weeks or months
I do think it kills the vibe a little bit for like the audience to be on their phone, emotionless. Because I'm hyped and I'm watching it from my seats at home. I can imagine in person the energy, and I feel like them as performers also feed off the energy that the crowd gives too.
If it's at night, you know, if it's dark, they don't really see the crowd. I think because the lights are at you, you don't really see who's in front of them. So in that sense, shouldn't really affect them. But I mean, yeah, I mean, if you got money, I think, you know, people buy front row seats sometimes just for the status. Take a picture, I'm here, send, you know, post it on Instagram or send it to like their friends because, you know, I got money, you know, I can afford it. Look at me, and just basically check in and dip. That kind of stuff, I don't know.
Forcing a tour just to perform to the human equivalent of wet cardboard. I saw a video of ENHYPEN begging for fans to interact. It was humiliating, not for them, but for the audience. These idols are out here giving their all while you're in the front row scrolling through TikTok to post your mediocre seat flex. Just because you dropped a bag on your ticket doesn't mean you get to be the show's deadweight. Being in that crowd means you're part of the energy. If you're gonna suck the life out of the room, do it from the cheap seats where no one can see you. There are hundreds of fans who would have sold their souls for that view. But nope, you just had to park your lifeless carcass there instead. 8. JYP knows how to handle their groups when it comes to balancing Korean and Japanese markets. It's a skill most companies should be begging to learn. Just take a look at Stray Kids, Twice and ITZY for proof. Their Japanese comebacks hit differently. And not in that half-baked slap some Japanese lyrics on a Korean track stunt most other agencies think is acceptable. JYP makes them distinct and intentional. Twice is a prime example. Japan practically worships them, and for good reason. Tracks like Perfect World, Candy Pop, Breakthrough, and Fake and True don't just stand out. They elevate their entire discography. They've shown a more mature experimental side in their Japanese releases, contrasting with their often formulaic, but successful, Korean hits. JYP clearly understands the Japanese market and uses it as a...
I used to think that's just the cultural norm. I wonder if this person who's doing the video, they may not even be living in Korea. I think they're American.
What are you talking about?
Like the being outraged of people being on their phone while there's performance. Filming, and they show up for their biases. I would think that would be the norm, but because they're outraged of it, lends me to believe that this person may be an international.
I don't know. I mean, if the person has the money to spend, they can spend it how they want, right? So who are we to tell them what to do in the seats that they buy? I don't know. I just.
So you think this person sounds like a hater? Like, oh,
yeah,
why are you
jealous.
coming here to kill the vibe?
Because they can't afford the the ticket. I mean, if somebody buys the ticket, I mean, it's their prerogative what they do with the
So
ticket.
can you be upset, like for example, if someone buys up all the tickets and they don't show up?
AKA 50 Cent in Ja Rule's concert. That's what I said. You got the money, you can do whatever you want. That's what 50 Cent did. He got the coin, he bought up all the tickets. Ja Rule performed in an empty arena. You want to pull up a prank like that? I mean, that's just how life works.
I feel like I'm on Bridgerton and I want to uncover this narrator.
A playground for twice artistic range, which is why their dominance in Japan is anything but accidental. Then there's ITZY, who can be a bit hit or miss on the Korean side lately, but their Japanese comebacks, absolute fire. Tracks like Voltage, Blah Blah, and Ringo bring back that classic ITZY energy we've been begging JYP to revive in Korea, and the best part? ITZY's Japanese releases don't feel like carbon copies of Twice or Stray Kids. They're totally tailored to ITZY's style while still feeling fresh, and Stray Kids is no different. Their Korean side leans on a well-established formula that they've mastered and continue to elevate. But their Japanese releases? That's where the artistry comes through. Tracks like Giant, Circus, and Social Path offer a totally different vibe, bold, creative, and conceptually rich. It's like watching two sides of the same coin, but each side feels just as valuable.
Okay.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about the Japanese releases. Not too familiar.
I just know that it's a different vibe from the Korean releases.
Yeah, Stray Kids definitely. They're more rocky because, rock is popular in Japan, so I do agree with that.
Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And as always, share as much kindness as possible.